ASAP Rocky so emotional after RiRi drops the bombshell. It started as a normal day, at least, that's what everyone around them thought. The sun poured through the glass walls of their Los Angeles home, casting golden light across the living room where Rihanna sat quietly, her phone face down beside her. The atmosphere felt different. Heavy. Almost like the calm before a storm. ASAP Rocky noticed it immediately. He had just walked in from a quick studio session, still energized from recording, but the second he saw RiRi's expression, something inside him shifted. She wasn't smiling. She wasn't scrolling. She wasn't humming like she usually did. She was thinking. Deeply. And that's when he knew, something big was coming. The moment everything changed. "Babe, you okay?" Rocky asked gently, dropping his bag and walking over to her. Rihanna looked up slowly. Her eyes were glossy, not from sadness exactly, but from emotion. Big emotion. "Sit down," she said softly. That alone made his heart skip. Rocky sat beside her, his body tense. He reached for her hand, but she held it tightly before he could say another word. "I've been thinking about us," she began. Rocky swallowed hard. Whenever someone starts with that sentence, it can go either way. But what she said next? Nobody saw it coming. "RiRi's bombshell." "I'm ready," Rihanna whispered. Rocky blinked. "Ready for what?" She took a deep breath. "I'm ready for the next chapter of our lives, officially." He stared at her, confused for a split second, until it hit him. Marriage. Commitment. A forever promise. Rihanna continued. "I've spent my whole life building an empire, chasing dreams, breaking records, but the most beautiful thing I've ever built, is this family. You, me, our kids, and I don't want to keep living like we're just almost there." Rocky's lips parted slightly. His heart began pounding. "I want us to make it official. Not just in private, but in front of the world." Silence filled the room. And then. Tears. Rocky breaks down. ASAP. Rocky didn't just get emotional. He completely broke down. Tears streamed down his face as he covered his mouth, overwhelmed by the magnitude of what Rihanna had just said. "Babe," he whispered, his voice shaking, "you don't know how long I've been waiting to hear that." He pulled her into his arms tightly, holding her like he never wanted to let go. "I've loved you since the beginning," he continued, voice cracking. "Even when we were just friends. I knew. But I never wanted to rush you. I wanted you to feel ready." Rihanna buried her face in his shoulder, smiling through tears. "I'm ready now." The emotional confession. Rocky leaned back, looking straight into her eyes. "You changed my life," he told her. "You made me better, calmer, more focused. You made me a father. You made me a man I'm proud of." His voice got softer. "And if you're telling me you want forever, I'm telling you I've been ready for forever since day one." Rihanna's eyes filled with tears again. They sat there in silence for a moment, just holding each other, letting the weight of that decision settle into their hearts. The shocking part nobody expected. But Rihanna wasn't done. There was more. "I didn't just come with words," she said, reaching for a small velvet box beside her on the table. Rocky's eyes widened. "Wait, what is that?" She placed it gently in his hands. "Open it." His fingers trembled as he opened the box. Inside. A custom-designed ring. Not for her. For him. Rocky gasped. "I wanted you to know this is equal," Rihanna said softly. "You choose me, and I choose you. Every day." That's when Rocky lost it completely. He dropped to his knees, crying openly. "RIH, this is the most beautiful thing anyone has ever done for me." The proposal. From both sides. Still on his knees, Rocky reached into his pocket. And what happened next made it even more emotional. He pulled out his own ring box. I was waiting for the right moment, he admitted, voice shaking. I had this for weeks. Rihanna's hands flew to her mouth. He opened it. A breathtaking diamond ring, elegant, timeless, stunning, just like her. So I guess we were both waiting on each other, Rocky laughed through tears. Rihanna nodded, crying and smiling at the same time. Will you marry me? They said to each other at the exact same time. And just like that, they both said yes. A love that changed everything. The room filled with laughter, tears, hugs, and disbelief. They had both been carrying the same dream, the same desire, the same hope. And in one emotional moment, everything aligned. Rocky lifted Rihanna into his arms, spinning her around as she laughed. This is the beginning of something even bigger, he said. She nodded. Our forever. The emotional aftermath. Later that night, as the house grew quiet and the kids were asleep, Rocky sat alone for a moment on the balcony, looking out at the city lights. Rihanna walked up behind him, wrapping her arms around his shoulders. You okay? She asked gently. He smiled. I'm more than okay. I'm complete. He turned to face her, eyes still slightly red from crying. You gave me everything I ever wanted, and more. Rihanna kissed his forehead. And you gave me a love I didn't even know I needed. They stood there together, hand in hand, looking out at their future. Not as boyfriend and girlfriend. Not as, almost. But as something deeper. Something permanent. Fans go wild. When whispers of the moment began to spread, fans everywhere were left stunned. Social media exploded with reactions. They both proposed. This is the most beautiful love story ever, loudly crying face. RiRi and Rocky just raised the bar forever. It wasn't just a relationship anymore. It was a story. A legacy. A partnership built on love, patience, and perfect timing. The final emotional moment. Before heading back inside, Rocky stopped Rihanna one last time. Wait, he said. She turned. He looked at her with that same emotional intensity. From earlier. I promise. I'll love you louder, stronger, and deeper every single day. No matter what. Rihanna smiled. And I promise to stand beside you, in everything. Always. They kissed. Soft. Real. Powerful. And as the camera of life slowly zoomed out on that perfect moment, one thing became crystal clear. This wasn't just a bombshell announcement. It was the beginning of a forever love story that would go down in history. Absolutely, here is a very long, highly emotional, viral-style fictional story script for your YouTube channel in the dramatic tone and structure you love. Backhand index pointing down. Clapperboard ASAP. Rocky so emotional after RiRi drops the bombshell, loudly crying face, broken heart. Fictional story created for entertainment purposes only, perfect for your YouTube storytelling channel, TNT fairy tale and fiction. Microphone intro, the moment nobody expected. The room was quiet. Too quiet. The kind of silence that doesn't just sit in the air, it presses on your chest. ASAP Rocky stood in the middle of their luxurious living room, his heart racing in a way he hadn't felt in years. Across from him, Rihanna, his queen, his partner, the mother of his children, stood with tears pooling in her eyes. But these weren't ordinary tears. These were the kind of tears that change everything. And then. She said it. Rocky. I have something I need to tell you. And it's going to change our lives forever. Broken Heart Chapter 1, The Bombshell Drops. Rocky's chest tightened. What's wrong? He asked softly, his voice trembling. Rihanna took a deep breath, placing her hand on her heart like she was trying to hold herself together. Everything has been moving so fast, the music, the brands, the kids, us, she said. Rocky stepped closer. We're good, right? We're solid. But Rihanna shook her head slowly. I've been offered something I never expected. Rocky's brows furrowed. What kind of offer? She paused. Her lips trembled. And then she said it. I've been asked to take on a global opportunity, a once-in-a-lifetime deal that would require me to move overseas for a year. Silence. Heavy. Crushing. Rocky blinked. Move, overseas. Rihanna nodded, tears now falling freely. It's the biggest contract of my career, bigger than anything I've ever done. But it would mean, being away. From you. From us. Loudly crying face Chapter 2, Rocky breaks down. At that moment, Rocky's strong exterior cracked. His eyes filled with tears instantly. You're telling me, you'd leave? For a whole year, he whispered. Rihanna walked toward him, her own voice breaking. I don't want to leave you, Rocky. I don't want to leave our family. But this is something I've worked my whole life for. Rocky turned away, running his hands over his face.